what's up? It's Pete Thorne. Welcome to my studio. Hey, this isn't my guitar. This is a PRS guitar that the nice folks at Evertune sent to me to check out because they outfitted it with their Evertune bridge. For those that don't know what the Evertune is, it's basically a system that keeps your guitar in tune all the time. I know it sounds crazy, but it actually works. There's a little bit of adjustment involved, but once you've got it set, it's kind of set and forget, and the guitar just doesn't go out of tune. And now this guitar, as it came to me, as I requested, is actually set up in drop C sharp, so a low tuning, which is always sometimes difficult to keep in tune when you're playing great big chords, especially with a little bit of distortion. The harmonics start to ring and sound not so pleasant. But you might have noticed in that song at the beginning of the video that everything is super in tune. And that's the benefit of the bridge. You get this incredible tuning stability. Even when you're digging into the strings, laying in pretty hard with your right hand, the pitch just doesn't really fluctuate. So as you can imagine, if you want like really in tune doubles, for example, which I tried to show in the song at the beginning of the video, like the guitar came in the left side and then another one came in the right side, and those two guitars together are about as in tune as I've ever done a double in my whole life. The system requires a fair amount of modification to an instrument, so you got to be willing to do that. If I was to take this, you can see rather large plate off the back, you would see the entire system in there, which I think is like sort of a series of springs and things that kind of counteract the tension of the string, and it's kind of ingenious. But if you're willing to go to the length to have it installed on a guitar, you're going to be rewarded with extreme tuning stability. Just imagine being on the road, maybe you don't have a guitar tech like most people, and you don't got to worry about going and tuning your guitars up before the gig or anything like that. You can rest assured that from sound check to the gig, the guitar is going to remain consistently in tune. It's kind of wild. So I'm not going to get any more into the technical of how they do this magic. You can go to their website and check it out more, read about it if you want to. I'm just going to play a little bit more with it now so you can hear it at work. Hearing is believing and all that, right? So let's get to it. It is the Evertune bridge. Here we go. So I just cut this first part in this little piece of music that I came up with for this video, and it's not the most harmonically interesting thing or creative thing that I've ever come up with, but the whole point of it was I was trying to play big, cold, steely consonant chords, big chords with fifths and roots all the way across the guitar and maybe some ninths, so that you could hear how the guitar is ringing in tune. And, you know, even in a dropped C sharp tuning, which I'm in, I can hit with the pick relatively hard, and under pick tension, the string stays in tune and the chords stay in tune. So when I'm playing the chord progression, it sounds something like this. Like, that is super in tune sounding, right? It's kind of amazing. I remember talking to Steve Stevens about getting this system installed on his guitars, and he mentioned that he was tracking with it, and it was in this tuning, in a dropped C sharp tuning. And he said when he would track two guitars, it would sound almost like one guitar. Like it was almost two in tune is possible. So he would do the double with like another guitar that didn't have this bridge system on it. But I found that kind of interesting. Obviously, the in tune thing has its advantages. I mean, when you're going out live and you're playing and there's humidity changes or temperature changes throughout a gig, that kind of thing, this guitar is going to stay in tune. And it's kind of fascinating. The uses are many, I would say. I mean, if you're a touring musician and you don't have a guitar tech and you need to change to a drop C sharp guitar, it's always stressful for me. I'm going to pick up that guitar and I'm not going to necessarily trust that it's in tune if I haven't checked it within the last half an hour or so, because maybe the gig got hotter or something. And then you pick up the guitar and you hit it, the first chord, and it's like, oh man, that sixth string is sharp or flat or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So this would be like, you know, just that extra sense of security having one of these around. Also, just in the studio, if you're trying to track and get stuff done really quickly, great to have around, obviously, to just be able to pick up and knock out a track and know that it's going to be as in tune as ever, as anything you've ever done. Now, although the string remains constant tension under pick pressure and just really in tune, the way that I've got the guitar adjusted, I can still bend and get, you know, great bendability. It sounds like a normal guitar. So I just cut some eighth notes and hard panned them, just played tight eighth notes, and that is perfectly in tune. And then I played a little bit of lead stuff as well, where I tried to use a lot of bends. Just kind of typical classic rock kind of boomer bends. And it all translates perfectly well. And I could probably even spend some more time with it and tweak it so that it even is right in more of a sweet spot than it is now. But right now, bending feels pretty natural. The low string I could tweak a little more because I bend, and just right where I've got it set right now, the bend doesn't kick in right away, and then it kicks in. You might have heard that on that last bend. But, I mean, this is my first impression of this guitar. I've only had it out of the box for literally an hour or so, and I was able to just get it right in the zone with one little cursory look at the manual on how to adjust the little fine tuner screws in the bridge to just be perfectly in tune, because the guitar had come out of the box and been shipped across the country and stuff. So I just tweaked it. It was a 10-minute thing, and then I tracked that little piece of music. So pretty cool, man. I mean, yeah, I'm impressed. So there you have it, the Evertune system. Kind of amazing, incredible tuning stability. There was a fellow I know that had a nice recording studio, really nice recording studio in Los Angeles called Sphere, and he kept one of these around at all times because he said he had so many young bands coming in that couldn't tune their guitars properly. He would just hand them the Evertune guitar and say, here, you're gonna play this today. Help get work done fast. I don't know, there's another use for it, right? There's been quite a few adopters of the system. David Levita, who's a really good studio guitar player, done a bunch of touring stuff. I know he had one installed on like a vintage 335 because he liked it so much. And I saw my buddy Steve Stevens use it with Deadland Ritual, his band with Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath, and I'd never heard a more in-tune, low-tuned guitar sound in all my life at a live show. It was just perfect. You can check it out further at that website down there in the link below. Click there, it'll take you to more info about the Evertune. Thanks you guys so much for watching. I'm Pete Thorne. Take care, over and out.